Hello bookish besties and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be starting a fall reading vlog with a twist. I have my comfy cauldron with me, but the overall game or theme of this video is going to be swapping my screen time for reading time. I'm only going to swap my time spent on social media, but I think I'm going to do a range of the time. So I have a time on social media and also a time on games that I was playing last week because I got really addicted to this unscrewing screw game on my phone. It was ridiculous. So I'm going to do a range. So the lowest minimum time is going to be the time that I spent on social media, and then I'm going to add the time that I spent on games or entertainment onto that. So we're going to be reading within that range. So today is Monday, so we're going to be going off of Monday from last week's time, and these times are going to look insane on this screen recording. But if I go from last Monday, it says I was on my phone for 27 hours, which obviously I was not. There's not even 27 hours in a day. But the com.apple.finder thing, apparently it's like a syncing thing with my Mac, and I was on my Mac and I guess it like got stuck running. So that's why that looks a little funky. If we scroll, we're gonna see that I was on my socials for an hour and 12 minutes, and then I was on entertainment for 47 minutes. So not too much. You can see that's mostly Instagram and YouTube that I spend my time on. So that's why I'm not counting entertainment in like the bare minimum that I'm reading, because I feel like sometimes that's like my creative outlet that I'm looking at. We're gonna do a minimum of an hour and 12 minutes. And if you add the 47 on there, that's basically like 2 hours. We're gonna set a timer for an hour and 12 minutes. And then if I get there and I feel like I want to read more, I'll set the timer for another 47 minutes. And then we'll keep reading. Before I start reading for the day, I want to show you guys this cool thing that I got at Target. It says Thriller Ave. I'm literally in love with this. They also had Mystery Lane, and it was the black color instead of the orange, but I'm really excited to put this out on my bookshelves for like spooky season. And we're gonna go through some of the possible books that I'm going to be reading throughout the week. I kind of want to read like 1 to 2 books. I'm a little bit more of a slow reader, so I only read like 30 to 50 pages an hour. So we're gonna see how many books I can get through for this, but again, 1 to 2 would be perfect. We have a great little stack here that I can choose from. I did go on a little bit of a book buying kind of spree the past couple of days. First, we have The Late Night Witches by Orly Wallace. And this is basically about like a family of witches on an island, and the vampires come and they need to slay them before Halloween or else they stay. Very excited for this one. Then we have If It Makes You Happy, and this one I've heard is like Gilmore Girls, but kind of like reverse personalities for the 2 main characters, and it goes through the entire kind of like Burr months of 1997, so I'm excited for this one. Another one that we have that I'm really excited about is The Second Death of Locke. I went on a hunt for this weekend, could not find it, finally found it at a Books A Million, and this was the only copy they had. And this is just like, I think, a knight and her mage. Then we have one of my most anticipated reads of the year, so I really might start with this one. Depending on my mood, we have We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad, and I absolutely adored Bunny when I read it, and I'm completely obsessed with this cover. I really think I'm going to start this one because, like I said, this is one of my most anticipated reads for the year, and I already read the first line, and of course, it's Hi Bunny, and I'm over the moon already. Like, literally, it's Hi Bunny, it's been a while, hasn't it? We missed you. We really did. So much. I am just so obsessed with the like unnatural writing in this. It creates such uneasy tension without really having to do a lot. Like, ironically playful, bubbly girl, but she's actually really smart and really scary, and she knows what she's doing. I think we might start with this one, but this is my little stack slash TBR that I'm going to be picking from this week, so I'll start the timer and we'll get going on this one. back and I finished my hour and 12 minutes of reading. I made it to page 30 of Bunny because I'm reading this very slow because I'm absorbing it. It's very unhinged train of thought. So it goes from one thought to the next, to the next, to the next. Like, just imagine your brain, if you have ADHD, going from one word and connecting that to something else, to something else, to something else. That's what this book is like. I can read you an example line. If you read Bunny, you know what I'm talking about. So I'll read you this line. You all cozy in your chair and the four of us standing close and adorable in our rabbit masks, making a circle of such love and understanding all around you. Our dresses shining prettily by the light of the hunter's moon. It's a hunter's moon tonight, Bunny. Oh yes. Look at it, full and glowing through the window, on All Hallows Eve no less. And the night so beautifully full of screaming, your screaming included. Probably you've dreamed of this moment, haven't you? We have to, trust. So it's going from like, oh, the moon, and, or we're standing under the moon. It's this kind of moon. And then it kind of like keeps funneling through those thoughts and coherently going through the hive mind's train of thought right now. I'm not going to go over too much because this is the sequel slash prequel. In Bunny, they're all doing their masters in like fine arts for fiction writing, and it's only 5 of them in this group, and 4 of them are the bunnies, and Sam's kind of the outcast. So we follow Sam in the first book, and in this book, it's Sam wrote her novel about everything she went through with the bunnies, and the bunnies are really mad, and they have her right now. They're going through their version of how things happened, which I think is really interesting so far because we're going all the way back before they became the hive mind. But like I said, it's going to take me a little bit to get through this because it's very trippy. It's fever dreamy. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's not real. There are things that they're saying and you don't know if it's actually happening or if it's just something they're thinking or if it's a metaphor for something. So you kind of have to take it slow. I'm highlighting a lot of things, but I'm already obsessed. My favorite line so far is literally only on page 9, but it says, because here tonight in the moon splash dark, it really is high time for us to make something beautiful again. I love it so much. I love Mona Awad's writing. It's so Valley Girl, but creepy. Hello besties, we're picking this back up on Thursday. I had a little bit of a week, so we had to skip Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's go on screen time and see how much I'm reading tonight. So like I said, today's Thursday, and if we go to Thursday from last week, I was on social for 2 hours and 8 minutes, so that's what I'm gonna follow, and then entertainment is 1 hour and 15 minutes, so that'll be like another hour if I want to do that, but we're gonna set the timer to 2 hours and 8 minutes. I'm hopefully gonna get this done. The new season for Critical Role comes out at 10, so I'm gonna be watching that with my husband, and it's currently like 9:30, so I'm hoping to get some reading done for the next little bit, and then I'm gonna watch some Critical Role, and hopefully I can read during the breaks or after that. So we're gonna get as much done as we can, but I'm gonna set the timer to 2 hours and 8 minutes like I said. We have 2 hours and 8 minutes on the timer right now. I'm gonna start that. We're still reading We Love You Bunny. I haven't read any more of it, so I'm still on like page 30, but I'm really excited to read some more of it. I have a pumpkin spice latte from Dunkin'. I've really been enjoying this lately. It's a little sweet sometimes, but I really like this. Or if I go to Starbucks, I get the pumpkin spice latte with pumpkin cream cold foam because it just has that like insane amount of pumpkin flavor and I love it. And I have my little Mickey pumpkin sitting here with me. So I'm gonna get comfy with my lap desk and read a bunch right now. Hello besties, I don't have my light down here right now, so please excuse the lighting. I started to film on Thursday. I only got to read for about an hour that day because Critical Role came out. It's now Sunday. We're gonna go back to settings and see how long I was on my phone for last Sunday. Looking at this, last Sunday was September 28th. I was on socials for 1 hour and 43 minutes. So we're gonna do a minimum of 1 hour and 43 minutes. And then sometimes I like to add the entertainment in there if I'm feeling like reading a little more, which it's Sunday, so I might. So we're gonna do the hour and 43 minutes for the first timer, and then if I finish that and feel like I want to read more, we're gonna do the 59 minutes for entertainment. I have my bagel this morning, and I also made a coffee. Very excited. It's just pumpkin spice creamer, and I have some cinnamon in there and some caramel sauce because I like the combination of caramel and pumpkin. I think I'm mostly going to be reading We Love You Bunny, but I also want to do this thing where I'm reading Dracula all month long. So I bought this new copy at Barnes & Noble yesterday, and I love it. It's just the artwork is so pretty. Okay, I finished eating, so now we're going to be starting the timer. Let's start. My timer just finished and I made it to page 70. This one is taking me so long to read. I'm reading at a slower pace because, again, I'm like stumbling over things, but it's still so enjoyable. The group of bunnies, which is the 4 girls that were involved with Sam in the first one, are rehashing their story on how they met, and they're all taking turns and not interrupting each other, and how they kind of like all felt about each other, how they felt about her, the things that kind of brought them together. The writing style is a little more volatile in this one, I would say. It's very hardcore and murdery, and they're all very intense. They all are attracted to each other, which is also super weird to see in this. They think that everything is sexual, and they are sexualizing each other and the things that each other does. I don't think there's anything else I want to say about this other than that they're literally all insane, and I don't know what's real and what's not, which is interesting. Again, it's like a fever dream like Bunny was, but this one's more so they're all unreliable narrators. That's it for tonight. I think I'm going to put my books down for the night, and I'm going to be editing another video, but I will see you guys tomorrow for another day of reading. Hello besties, I have a coffee even though it's late. I'm going to be starting today's hours for reading. If I go on my screen time for last Monday, then I have 1 hour and 57 minutes on socials, so that's what I normally base it on, like I've been saying, and then if I want to do more, I'll add in the entertainment on there, but I'm thinking of just doing the social. So I started an audiobook today, and that's Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge, and it's a Bram Stoker award-winning book. I've seen a lot of people read it around Halloween time. It has a very Halloween cover. I can pull up the cover so you guys can see it. This is the cover. So it has the October Boy on it. The whole premise of this book is that there's a town, and every year they lock the 16-year-old boys up for 5 days and don't give them food. And on Halloween night, the October Boy is resurrected, and he's basically just like this big pumpkin-headed like scarecrow kind of thing. And he tries to make it to the church, and if he makes it to the church before midnight, then he wins. Not really sure, but the entire point is for the boys to kill him. So we're following the perspective of Peter, and then we're also following the perspective of the October Boy and one more boy. And then we go into some more, because the whole book is in third-person omniscience, so we're going into like a bunch of different perspectives, but overview perspective, not their physical perspective. So if I do the 1 hour and 57 minutes, I should be able to finish this audiobook. So I'm going to pop my headphones on. So let's pop these headphones on, get the timer started, and get this audiobook done, and then I will let you guys know what I thought about the audiobook as soon as I finish. Hello, it's Tuesday. Last night I finished reading Dark Harvest, and then I got really obsessed with a show on Netflix, that Monster, the Ed Gein story, and I watched 3 episodes until like 3 in the morning, so I did not give you guys an update. Sorry for the crazy hair and crazy appearance right now. I had the longest worst day at work today. I made a coffee, which is over there. I'm gonna give you guys an update on Dark Harvest first, and then we're gonna get into reading for the night. So I finished Dark Harvest last night. It was third person omniscient, so we were just like seeing everything as like a watchful eye, and I really enjoyed that. I kind of liked the mystery of like the narrator was kind of talking to you, like you knew what was happening. The author of this book had very interesting descriptors, and I really enjoyed reading it because it felt very eerie and Halloween-like. Like he called the Black Road out of town a licorice whip. I think the twist that we find out is also really interesting, and the way that we find out was really well done. You can kind of see it coming, but I really liked the audiobook for this one. When the October Boy spoke, the narrator did like this really creepy voice that like will stick with me, and I don't think I would have pictured the voice as that if I was reading it myself. I don't think this would be like an annual fall reread for me, but I do think it was a very short, fun story. It was just under 200 pages, so it was just around like a 4 to 5 hour audiobook depending on what speed I read it on. Overall, I think I'd give it a 3 stars. So now we're gonna see how long we have to read for tonight. So if we go to Tuesday, September 30th, I was on socials for 3 hours and 14 minutes. This one's gonna be hard to do just because I'm starting this vlog at 9 o'clock, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be up till midnight, but I'm gonna do my best, and I'm going to try to read for the 3 hours and 14 minutes. If I fail, that happens. This is just a fun challenge I'm trying to do to stop my doom scrolling. I'm going to be reading more We Love You, Bunny. Reading this is so much fun because things that are like happening are definitely metaphorical, but you can't tell if it's reality or the metaphors. The bunnies are meeting with like the person they want to be their mentor slash like professor slash workshop leader. She's telling them to like create these beautiful things together, and like what they can make together can change reality. And obviously she's speaking metaphorically because she's a writer, and like that's just what happens, but these girls are taking it literally and they think they're magic, and I think it's kind of hysterical. I also love seeing how the bunnies came together, because all we see in Bunny is Sam's perspective of the bunnies and how they're a hive mind. They all are pretty similar, even though they're a little bit distinct from one another. But right now we're getting each of their point of views, seeing that the one girl, Coraline, she kind of hates all the weird things that the other bunnies do. She's kind of like very prim, proper, normal thinking, that kind of vibe. And then this other girl, Kira, she's not really agreeing with the other girls, and like in her mind she's calling them all crazy, and she's agreeing and she doesn't know why. So it's kind of like that idea of like when you get in a group of people, you feel like you need to have the same ideas to fit in. So I'm enjoying that, and I really like that we got to learn like where the origin of like them calling each other bunny came from, and why they say hi bunny and they just call each other bunnies. And I think that's really interesting to see from 2 different perspectives. Like one day they just started calling each other bunny because they kept seeing rabbits around campus. I don't think this is better than Bunny right now. This feels like a 3 or a 4 star so far, and I'm 73 pages in. Bunny was a 5 star. Hello besties, it's Thursday now. I absolutely failed Tuesday's reading. I wound up falling asleep at 10:30, so I only read for about an hour, and I was supposed to read for like 3, but I did read up to almost page 100 in Bunny, and then I did read the first like 5 pages of Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. So we're gonna see how much reading I can get done today. I'm gonna set my timer for whatever the minimum is and try to read more than that. I think my goal for the rest of this video is to finish Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood and get a huge chunk of the way through Bunny. We go on my screen time for last Thursday. That is an hour and 58 minutes on social. So we're gonna do at least an hour and 58 minutes, and then like I said, I like to throw in the entertainment in there, and I was on entertainment for 2 hours and 27 minutes because I was watching YouTube videos that day. So we're gonna at least read for 2 hours up to like 4.5 hours. So we're gonna get the timer all set up. So we have 2 hours right there. I think for now I'm gonna start with Hot for Slayer on my Kindle. So I'm just gonna restart because I literally literally was so tired when I started this the other night that I don't remember anything. All I know is that it's between a vampire and a vampire slayer. Hello besties, I'm here to give my final thoughts on Thursday's reading and close out the vlog. I was able to start and finish Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood, which I absolutely love. I gave it 4 stars. I don't think I'm gonna give a novella 5 stars because there's obviously not enough substance there, but it was so good. I want like a full-length novel out of this. So the basic gist for Hot for Slayer was a vampire and a vampire slayer, and the vampire slayer has been after her for like 1,000 years basically. She's about to get killed by another vampire and he saves her and he hits his head and forgets who he is. So then they wind up spending time together. It was just so cute. I don't want to give away any more because it's only 98 pages and I would give away like the entire book, but it was so cute. Such a fast, fun read. I would definitely recommend that one. Now I'm thinking of going into Ali Hazelwood's Bride soon because I need more of her vampires because I think they were really fun. So in total for the entire vlog, we read 2 books and we got a 4th of the way through We Love You Bunny. So we finished Dark Harvest and gave that one like 3 stars. It was a fun, atmospheric fall read. And then we read Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood, which was so fun. And then we got a 4th of the way through We Love You Bunny. And I'm really excited to continue that one. I'll probably have the rest of that one in another vlog so you guys can see how I felt about it in the end. But that's it for swapping my screen time or my reading time, or as I've also been referring to it as swapping my doom scrolling time for reading time, because that's what I feel like I've been doing nowadays on social media. So it was nice to have a break from my phone, be able to set my timer, pick up my book, and just read. If you guys made it this far in the video, please leave a fun pumpkin emoji down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy reading.